Okay, hi Sterling. This is a question. Hi Sterling, I wanted to ask your thoughts on the most effective way or actionable steps to ensure that your woman has achieved pleasure first in the bedroom. Okay, so it depends what you're kind of working with. It depends if she climaxes from penetration easier, or if she climaxes from clitoral orgasm easier, or clitoral stimulation, I should say, easier. I think as a general broad approach, understanding the power of dirty talk is pretty vital, because with dirty talk and kind of like suggestion and sexy tonality, I've got a bunch of videos on this on my YouTube channel, so go check them out. But with good dirty talk, you can kind of lay the groundwork for an easier orgasm later on in the sex session. But we can start to build up her arousal, build up her blood flow down there, purely through whispering dirty shit in her ear during the course of the sexual interaction. That's going to make the orgasm way easier to get to at the end, because the brain is the biggest sexual organ, right? So we can start with dirty talk, slow, deep tonality, confident tonality, right? And then I think moving on to understanding your angles. Sex is geometry, basically. Like sexual pleasure is about geometry. So knowing which way is your dick pointing. Is it pointing up? Is it pointing down? Is it pointing straight? Right. This is going to affect which positions are going to typically work better, because you want to try and hit the G spot. Right. Now, if she's laying on her back in missionary, pillow under the hips, raising her hips up. I've got plenty of videos on this. That's going to be a very easy way to penetrate and hit that G spot. I think in terms of, if I was going to, like, if you're into it, not every guy is into it, but if you're into it, I'd recommend going down on a chick as a sort of foolproof way to ensure that she gets hers. And it sounds like, you're making the question about, are you saying ensure your woman has achieved pleasure first in the bedroom? Sounds like you want to get her off and then you do you, which is all fine and dandy. But I'll add a real strong caveat here, and that is, don't make it like the be all end all. Don't make getting her off and getting her orgasm like the end of the world. It's very important that you don't put pressure on her to orgasm. If your ego depends on it, if your ego needs her to finish, needs her to climax in order for you to feel like a man, or in order for you to feel like a good lover or whatever, you're already fucked. You're already shooting yourself in the foot. She can tell this. She will be able to tell when you're forcing it too much, when you're trying too hard. She will be able to tell, and it'll put pressure on her, and it'll make it way harder for her to come in the first place. So you have to kind of attack with what I call the selfish pervert frame of mind. So the selfish pervert frame of mind is, think of her as like your sexual muse, and you want to do all kinds of perverted, enjoyable things to her, but you don't really care about the outcome. You're doing it in a sort of selfish way, like she's the muse for your sexual pleasure, right? And you're just taking her like that with passion and with lust. Now, it's not just entirely selfish, because it would be, if it was entirely selfish, you just finish in 30 seconds. You finish as quickly as you can, roll over, go to sleep, right? It's not that kind of selfish. It's selfish in the sense of, you're going to use and explore her body for your own perverse pleasures. Now, it's also, like, that is also enjoyable for her, though. So, and you'd be surprised how many women really get off on the idea of getting their man off. They really do get off on this. So there's another element to throw in there for you. But if you really want to learn about cunnilingus, if you want to learn about how to go down on a girl, it's super reliable and consistent. But basically, you want to tease an orgasm out of it. And actually, to be fair, this is kind of true with penetrative sex as well. If a lot of things you can do to help a woman orgasm easier is to kind of deny an orgasm for her. If you can feel she's getting closer, or she's telling you she's getting closer and closer and closer, don't be afraid to actually pull out or stop what you're doing and deny it to her, and tell her that she has to ask your permission first to orgasm. What does this do? This creates a really fun dynamic, a dominant submissive dynamic between the two of you. It's a kink, it's a turn on, it's arousing, but it's also like sexually frustrating, and it's a tease, which actually like kind of short circuits her, and it can actually help her get there quicker, because you've taken the secret with that is that you've taken the pressure off of her. If it's under your control, if you get to tell when she orgasms, it's no longer this thing that's a build-up of pressure in her head anymore, and she's now in this game of like, oh, is he going to let me come? Is he not going to let me come? And then you can get back to penetration, or you can get back to going down on her or whatever, build her up to that point, and deny, build her up to that point again, deny, and then build up to that point again, and let her come, and it's going to fucking be 2-3 times as big of an orgasm as it would have been if you just ran with it to start with. So there's a bunch of different tools and tricks you can try. You really it's a shit answer, but it really depends upon the woman you're dealing with. So you've got to figure out what's the key to unlocking her, because every woman there's a bunch of different skill sets and tools which we can use for every woman, right? And every woman will enjoy them, but certain ones are gonna get a woman over the edge more than other ones, right? And that's very much on a case by case basis. So you have to learn more about your woman. You have to learn which buttons you push are the most effective, that give you the biggest bang for your buck for her in particular. So there you go. Have some fun and enjoy.